Yeah, sure. Oh, it goes. Okay, people, we have a special guest today, Mr. Reks.
Peace. Thanks for having me, brother.
Hi, it's Wini, Essa, of course, oh fuck, and my fucked up Samsung Sync, but I don't give a shit, it goes like it goes. Oh, why? It doesn't work. Oh, okay, I hope it's not gonna broke no more. Yo, are you 77?
77 years old?
No, 77 born.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Fuck, man. So I am older than American boom bap rapper.
Hey. It is what it is.
It's fucking crazy word, you know. I was back in the days I was thinking that everybody is older than me, but it came to the point that people are fucking younger than me.
Yeah, well, I'm not, an atypical boom bap rapper. Like a lot of cats during my era kind of swerved off of it.
Typical, no, but I think you're kind of going with this kind of sound, you know.
Yeah, no, I definitely am a boom bap rapper. I wouldn't classify myself otherwise. But what I mean is, a lot of cats during my age group of people started to kind of veer off from boom bap and try different stylings of music, and create a little bit differently.
Yeah, and if we are about the music and what is going to now these days, you got the song modern music.
Modern music, yeah.
Yes, and the problem is that I would say I do speak English, but I cannot understand everything in every song. I have to really study this if I want to get everything. But I was understood that you kind of don't like the modern music right now, or
yeah, I mean not so much that I don't like it. It's not my cup of tea per se. There are definitely some new age and modern artists who I appreciate and I value for their artistic integrity and their artistic ability. And
so who would it be?
Okay, so there are artists who are on J. Cole's label. There's Earth Gang, there's Jid, there's a rapper by the name of W.S. Boogie.
W.S. Boogie, I don't know it.
Yes, and then there's
so
these are all artists.
Boogie with the hoodie.
Well, yeah, I heard that too.
But
what I'm saying is these are kind of artists who kind of veer off of that specific boom bap sound, and they're modern type of artists, and I really truly appreciate their sound. There's another one by the name of No Name. She's a rapper from Chicago, and she has a very artistic, stripped down, beautiful sound, and I'm a big fan of hers as well. People may know her from Chance the Rapper's
albums. Chance the Rapper, and I love this fucking single America.
Okay, yeah, so see, there are various artists nowadays who create and don't create within that boom bap umbrella, and they're just making beautiful music.
And Chance the Rapper, haven't he been playing in some kind of TV show?
Maybe that's Childish Gambino.
Ah, fuck.
You're thinking of Childish Gambino. Because you're talking about This Is America.
Yes.
So when you said America, I was trying to connect the dots. But yeah, you're thinking of Childish Gambino.
Yeah, sorry, I made a mistake.
I forget his first name, but his last name is Glover. So
he was playing with Chevy Chase, I think.
He's in several shows, and he's an actor as well. So
I loved Chevy Chase back in the days, but now I don't like his films. He's old fucking daddy. I can't watch this fucking shit,
I don't really follow Chevy Chase. So
I love the film Fletch.
Yeah, I've heard of it.
There was two parts, he was a guy who make interviews or special cases for some newspapers, you know, and he was fucking funny. It was like a film of my childhood, you know, and I was always, I want to be that smart as this motherfucking guy. He was making laugh at fucking everything, you know, and I loved this, you know.
Mine was Coming to America. Like my childhood was Coming to America always. Eddie Murphy, you know. That's just
this one, because you know, the point is we got some of the films, we got the stupid Polish names of this, and sometimes they totally fucking changed it what the fucking meaning is, you know.
I don't know.
And
so what do they call Coming to America?
Coming to America is I think it's the one when this prince is coming to fucking America.
Yeah, he's from Africa, so he goes to Queens to find his queen.
It's a prince in New Yorker.
It's called Prince New Yorker?
Yeah. Książę w Nowym Jorku. The prince in New York, you know.
That's not too bad. That's not too bad. I'm not mad at that.
No, but some of them are so fucking far away, you know.
Right.
Like, for example, Die Hard, you know. So Die Hard, it's not a guy died hard. It's a fucking glass trap.
Which is what?
Like the trap from the glass, made out of the fucking glass.
The fuck is that?
Yeah, and because the first part was that they've been in a fucking huge tower, and this like it was kind of like a glass tower or something, you know. And every part was in a fucking different place. Someone was in the fucking airport. And every time it was a fucking glass trap, number 2, 3 or something, you know. And nah, motherfuckers, it's a Die Hard, kurwa. Zdychaj, kurwa, ciężko.
So with that being said, is Die Hard a difficult term to translate?
No, it's fucking not. I don't know. That's what I'm saying. The point is, you know, sometimes they totally sometimes they change a little bit the name because it's like, I think it's called idiom or something. Yeah, and it's close to something, but we say the same thing a little bit different. So then it's cool. But sometimes they totally change the meaning of fucking title. I don't know why. Like this translator feels like some kind of a fucking artist or something, you know. He's not. He just fucking translate a fucking film, you know. Okay, you can make an art a little bit of this, but not at this point when you fucking change somebody's title, you know.
Right.
And when we about the films, you know, there are 2 films I wanted to speak about with you. One is Spike Lee joint.
Okay.
Have you seen this new film about the black cop who investigate KKK?
The Black Klansman?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah, I liked it.
I don't like that shit.
No?
I mean, everyone tells me they like it, man. Me personally, I just, it didn't do it for me. But the other thing is Spike Lee has not done it for me for a while. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think...
Because for me, you know, Spike Lee is really about the problems of black people, and I can, you know, like relate a little bit, but I'm not about his films too much, you know. Some of his films are just, it's not my stuff, you know. But this one I liked it because it was kind of funny also, you know, and I like when the films are funny.
I like some of his older stuff, like Do the Right Thing and Crooklyn, and I like... Inside, I think it's is it Inside Job or I forget which movie it is. Denzel and Gerard Butler, I believe, in the film.
I don't even remember. It's a
bank movie. But, he got 25th Hour. I like that one. You know what I'm saying? I like when he, you know, he has some strong take on black family films and in the black community. But then when he gets artistic and does stuff like Chirac and the Black Klansman, I'm not too fond of his.
I feel like this new film can be a little bit like this more commercial films of Woody Allen. The real fans of Woody Allen don't like some of his films, which I do like. You know,
real good analogy of like Spike Lee comparison to like Woody Allen. I could see that. Yeah.
There is something. Okay, so and the other film I wanted to speak about was Bodied, this new Eminem film about battle rap.
I heard about it. I haven't seen it, and I actually just heard about it a couple of days on this tour, the Below the Zero tour that we're on. I just heard about it now. So when I get back home, I'm definitely going to look into it and check it out. But what's your take on it?
I like it, you know, but I like battle rap, you know, and I like really to watch it, you know. I like to watch different battles, even, you know, Polish ones, American ones, even a German, and wow, fuck, the Russian guys are fucking great in fucking battle rap. The greatest, the biggest league in the whole fucking world is Russian, not American.
That's crazy.
They got the views of some battles like 20, 30 millions of two guys standing for fucking each other, you know, saying bad things about each other.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not big on the battle scene. You know, like a lot of people that I rock with are kind of into it, you know what I'm saying? But like, I don't really follow it too tough. Like I used to be a battle rapper, Green. I used to be a battle rapper, and when I did battle rap, it was more like a freestyle, you versus me type of thing, without totally improvised and like, you know, created off the top of the dome. And that's not to take anything away from like what artists do now, because what they do is incredible. It takes a lot of grit and talent, you know. But I personally have like kind of grown distant from the engagement of like, you know, just, you know, something driven by the dozens, which is like, you know, I break you down and you break me down type of vibe. I know it's great for sport, you know.
I think it's great for sport when you can recognize that even there is this crazy aggression sometimes in this, but if you can keep peace in yourself at the same time, that you are about, okay, he said so bad things about me and every environment around me, but I will answer to him with a fucking word, not with a fucking fist. Then it's still a fucking great thing, because it's a beautiful, and it shows intelligence, because some of these fucking thoughts which they send to the people are, I think it's some fucking special fucking poetry, you know.
Absolutely.
That's how I see this.
I mean, but you can't. I mean, like it's a great. It's great in theory. The thing about it though is that these individuals don't have any beef with each other. Yeah, if you had two like warring gangs or like individuals who despised each other from the neighborhood, and you sat them in a ring and they started to tear each other apart via words, as opposed to fists or guns or whatever, then okay.
Because, you know, let's say America is a fucking hardcore if you talk about this, you know.
Okay.
If, like, all the time I read like some American, even infamous rapper, but he died, somebody shot him, or you know, it's you cannot really find so much of this in Europe. France, Germany, it happens sometimes that somebody shoots somebody, but it's a really fucking special thing, you know. It doesn't happen like all the fucking time, you know. And more people beat themselves or something, or they stab somebody with a knife. Or
right.
Shooting, it's you know, in Poland it didn't happen even one time that somebody shoot to somebody because of the fucking rap, and of course it's always related with the drug dealing and other things, you know. I think I would say something, I don't know, maybe we do care about the life a little bit more, or maybe our law is more restricted about this, you know, because people are people by the end of the day, you know. But in States you got so many guns, you know, that do you think it make people killing each other more?
I think the looser gun laws, the so-called democratic conditions that we live in, and our conditions are a little freer than many other countries I've been to and seen. I think the ability for individuals to have access to that, plus the aggression based from poverty and
based from what?
Poverty, like
what
individuals, poor individuals, people who have less. But like there's an extreme gap between the rich and the poor in the United States, and I think because of that, individuals are at a higher risk to be, you know, more aggressive and more, you know, violent, because it doesn't matter what culture you are, it doesn't matter what nationality you are, it doesn't matter what your upbringing is. If you are deprived of the basic necessities in life, then you're going to act out in a form that is go all out. By any means, I'm gonna get what I need. So I think that's kind of the thing that we're dealing with when it comes to the United States specifically, and the violent nature of a lot of the cities. It comes from a lot of the capitalist mind frame and the so-called freedoms that we are allowed, but are just basically facades, which are fake visuals of reality.
Don't you think that people just compare themselves too much of each other? Because my grandmother told me one truth, which I really think it's something value. She was at the Second War. She was sent to Siberia. A very tough place. Poland was attacked by the Germans, and from other side by Russians. And she was attacked by the Russians, and they took her from the home and sent to some fucking other place. Just strictly to die. It was crazy. It was a crazy place, and it was very hard to live over there. And she told me something like this: if you are not hungry, you cannot talk about the poorness. That's what she told me, So she lived the time when the point of living was to have anything to eat, and you didn't think about the shit like a nice car or whatever, you just wanted to fucking live. And so sometimes I think like people always compare themselves, because sometimes they do have so much fucking nice things, but you see your car and you see another and you see, oh fuck, my car is fucked up, the windows doesn't open, like they're supposed to, or I don't have a nice CD player or whatever, it's new in a car right now. And then you say, fuck, I'm poor. I got to have.
Well, I mean, I think there's layers to that. I think what your grandmother said is very, very valid and very true. But I think there are layers to being impoverished. Like individuals who claim they're poor because they don't have a CD player. Obviously, that's stupidity. For me, what I'm saying is that there are conditions, like the conditions I grew up with my mom, and us living, 12 in a 3-bedroom home, and like head to toe with my cousin, because my cousin was sleeping next to my sister, and then everybody was like living like this, and there was bread in the house, and that's it. You know what I'm saying? And that'd be for a couple of days. When it was tough conditions where we didn't have anything, and my mom helped us and taught us to survive in the circumstances we were living in, under conditions that were predicated from a government that suppresses the people. Like that's true poverty. And then even beyond that, that's at a surface level, because there are people who live way worse than that. Way worse
because
than that.
The point of, I think, what my grandmother tried to tell me was that if you got something to eat, you still will find somebody else who can tell you, I got worse,
Right, but my point is, my point in response to that is there are definitely levels to poverty, but that doesn't change the condition. The condition of poverty is based upon a system that allows it to occur. It's like, I'm not going to think on the level of like, oh, somebody else has it worse, so that means it's okay that I have it the way I have it.
Yeah,
it's not okay, but it's not okay.
Yeah,
there are individuals at a higher level, elite individuals who live and they live in conditions of extreme wealth, and then they don't even have children to pass on their wealth to. They continuously pass it through elite individuals, or if they have children who they pass it on to their legacies. These individuals are going to remain in power, going to remain in positions of wealth, while other individuals starve. So through those conditions, you have individuals who fight the system. That's why you have that's why you have revolts. That's why you have revolution. That's why you have situations of extreme aggression, and that plays out in various ways. Hip hop is it was birthed kind of in that, from the graffiti and the breaking and everything of that nature being a response to a system. Graffiti was a response to a system. Breaking was a means of dealing with that aggression in a different way. The same way you attribute battle rap, individuals not trying to fight each other, gang versus gang, but like coming at each other with a more civilized and intelligent way. Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
They can, I would call it in some way PS4 or Xbox. You can kill some motherfuckers, but you don't have to kill them.
Yeah, there you go.
Sometimes I laughing. I got a little hunter in myself, but I don't like to kill even the animals. I'm not about to take a fucking gun and go to the forest and shoot an animal. I think I wouldn't feel good with that, but if I play on the fucking Xbox, maybe it's good to make like this,
Oh nah. I think I love the sun. My melanin needs the sun. Okay. So now we keep it right there.
So my point was sometimes I got to hunt on some fucking Xbox, and then it's okay,
Yeah. So no violence in real life.
No, and if we talk about the politics about a little, because all the conditions of the different people, it's comes from politics, of course, So what's up with your crazy president you people got in your?
Well, he's not my president. So, I mean, I mean that sincerely. He doesn't represent me. So.
Yes, of course. I would say the same, in my country several times, but by the end of the day, he can make a statement which will affect your life.
It depends. It depends on how much I allow something that he says to affect me. Like, we all have choices. We can decide to live how we decide to live. We have a constitution that allows us the freedom to test the government that we live in. I mean that is supposed to govern us. We have the ability to fight against things that are improper. Me personally, like I govern myself, and I make sure that my children are aware of their rights and aware of like who they are as people. Like no individual is going to control the way I think or the way I move about the world.
Yeah,
he can go ahead and maybe put a travel ban on us going to Cuba, like a new embargo. You know what I'm saying, and say that we can't go to Cuba, but there's obviously ways around that. People have been going to Cuba forever, you know what I'm saying, and doing whatever they want.
Yes, of course.
But like, I mean, what is he gonna do to considerably alter my life? He is doing some things to considerably alter, certain individuals in this world's life, but I wouldn't say that were the case for me specifically. I mean, obviously he's a douchebag. You know what I'm saying? He's not a good person. You know what I'm saying?
He doesn't look like one.
Yeah, he's not a good person.
It's fucking kurva all.
And I don't know what that is.
But to be honest, when we talk about things like this, kind of he affects a lot of things, because we are everybody care about their own asses, of course, and of course I watch sometimes a little bit the politics in States, but I don't live there, and I can understand some things I cannot understand, but this guy, like the government of United States, really have what they do affects, what is going on in Europe. And for example, I'm interested about some war scenarios. Scenarios? Yeah. And they are the one, like, what would happen if United States come out of the NATO, and they wouldn't be keeping together with the West Europe, what would happen, and the people from soldiers, they make scenarios what would happen then, it could happen really crazy fucking shit, we could have a fucking war, and Russia could attack us, because there are special scenarios, like probably they would test to take out at the beginning Lithuania and Latvia, and
what was the first one you said? Lithuania.
Lithuania and Latvia, of course. And Estonia, these three little countries, and they would see what happened. Probably nothing would fucking happen, so it would mean that they can take a Poland. Because, and if they would take a Poland, it would mean that NATO is totally shit. Nobody give a shit about fucking nothing.
But let me ask you a question. Do you see Putin as someone in power who would do something of this nature?
Yeah, of course. Putin could make shit like this. He fucking took
what has he done? What has he done to lend you to believe that he's taking these countries over?
Why? He just took a part of fucking Ukraine a few years ago, and they got a fucking war in Ukraine. Half of the Ukraine is in war with Russia, and Russia said there is no fucking war, but people go with the fucking AKs and kill each other, and you got a fucking war over there. And that's why we think they could take it. And we had this 70 years ago. My grandmother had this. Russian came and took out our fucking country. So I'm not like, it happened 500 years ago and I wrote it in a fucking book, I got it straight from my fucking family,
So I mean, what does Donald Trump's pulling out of NATO really how does that push the lever closer to Putin making a decision like that? You're schooling me right now, so I just want to know where
he was saying, in some of his statements that maybe United States shouldn't fuck so much with the NATO and keep together because they spend too much money on this, and they should concentrate only about inside politics. And he made a lot of statements like this. So when we hear this shit, we kind of afraid. We are like, yeah, really? So it means that we are in pact together, but you can say in one day, nah, fuck it. Because they have some fucking films, how he, I don't know, piss on some fucking Russian prostitutes, and they don't want to see this shit in fucking TV, and you don't know what they fucking talk when they meet each other with Putin.
Right.
There was a meeting of them. What the fuck he said after this meeting? He said that he don't believe to fucking CIA, and your fucking president said, sorry, not yours, but you know what I mean. Said that he don't believe to his own people after meeting some fucking Putin for a fucking hour. What the fuck is that?
Yeah. I mean, it is what it is. Like at the end of the day, you're making your statement, based on the NATO, and it's very likely that those circumstances could transpire. You feel what I'm saying? You have a very valid reason to be concerned and what have you. And I mean, Donald Trump, for his part, is no different than Obama. He's no different than Nixon. He's no different than Thomas Jefferson. He's no different than Lincoln or Roosevelt. Like they all have the U.S. interests at heart first and foremost, and they want to play the side of the victor. You feel me? And they're gonna do what they do based on the U.S. interests before anything else. That's any president, first and foremost. Politically.
Yes, that's in some way obvious, but the other thing is if you talk with the other people and you make a deal with them, it would be cool, to keep this deal and don't break your fucking word,
No,
it's,
of course.
It's the same things like between two people and between the countries, because.
But I don't see him as any different than any other individuals like that have become presidents. You can look down the line and see what happened with Obama's presidency and what happened with Gaddafi. You know what I'm saying? You can go back to Clinton and his issues in Haiti. You know what I'm saying? You can go back to, and that's me just going backwards a little bit. George Bush and obviously what happened in the Middle East, the other Bush and what happened in the Middle East. You know what I'm saying? Reagan and the lies about the drug situation and the Iran-Contra
Yeah,
affair.
that's
You know what I'm saying? Like,
the crazy
it doesn't matter
thing.
how many presidents you go back line for line, you're gonna find some kind of systematic BS and
BS, what that?
bullshit.
Ah, yeah, okay.
And some kind of propaganda involved. And then don't get me back, you go past these individuals and then you get into the Vietnam War. And then you have several presidents who, consistently not only lied and manipulated to leaders of different countries, but they lied to their own people. You know what I'm saying?
And yeah, this there was a document about this, and after
The
this,
Pentagon Papers.
no, this film, how they put it, the crack in a black neighborhood
Of course.
back in the days, and this guy Rick Ross of
Freeway Ricky
real
Ross.
Rick Ross,
Freeway Ricky Ross. Yeah.
yeah, he kind of was a tool to make this.
He was.
But really, it made American government. And they fucking was dealing with the fucking cocaine from, I don't remember, was it from Colombia?
Colombia, I believe, yes.
Yeah, and because they need like $1 million to some fucking war somewhere, and so they sold this fucking drugs, and they made a statement during the Bill Clinton, when the Bill Clinton was at the government, they made a statement that they really fucking did this, and they've been dealing drugs around whole fucking America, especially in Compton, I think.
Oh yeah, exactly. That's where the whole Freeway Ricky Ross thing.
Yeah, and the point was, nothing fucking happened because people was more interested about Monica Lewinsky sucking dick of Bill than something like fucking that.
Yeah, of course. It's all a media ploy and agenda to, you know what I'm saying, kind of keep people disconnected to the reality. You know what I'm saying? It's all a distraction, right? And that's everything in the world that we live in anyways. There's going to always be distractions to try to keep you from what's going on in the real world.
Yeah, and that's a funny thing that we as a people, we still fucking buy this shit, we are still more interested who sucked somebody's dick than who is taking money out from us.
Speak for yourself. I don't give a damn what's going on with Monica Lewinsky.
I said we as people,
I'm just fucking with you. Yeah, nah. I mean, personally, I don't care, and like I know there's a catchphrase, stay woke nowadays. You know what I'm saying? And individuals, it's popular to actually pay attention to what's going on in your surroundings, and even though it's kind of cliche and phrase-ish, I love the fact that people are trying to wake up to like the world that they live in, and like expose the natures of the beast nowadays. But my mind frame in teaching my children and anyone around me that I can like affect to try to like just stay aware of their surroundings and be aware of your own rights, and to truly educate yourself, and not just read not just to look at some documentaries and look at what's going on on social media to kind of find your information, but really dig and delve into books and dig and do your due diligence, not only with reading, not only with documentaries, but speak to the people, come out to different countries, see how people are living, learn about other individuals' cultures, and really truly understand the nature of the world you live in, so you can kind of get your own understanding of the lies that have been spread consistently over centuries.
That's a good point, because I was at Barcelona when the Catalonia wanted to break out from Spain, and I was talking with the people about that, and some of them told me, so what you think about this? And I told them, I don't fucking know. I ask you. You live here. You tell me. I'm asking you. Is this good or bad?
Right.
From my point of view, maybe it's bad because for us it looks like Russia wants to break down another country in Europe and make Europe not to be together too much. And because Russia was involved in this conflict as fucking hell, But you live in here. I don't know, maybe you Catalonian people feel like you're not Spanish at fucking all. You look Spanish for me, if you ask me. But yeah, and some people told me that it's not so fucking easy, and they had a certain answers and ideas for what's going on. It wasn't even so easy from their own point of view, but it was interesting to talk about this, and sure, it's good to have information strictly from the people, because any stupid film or book can be, just an idea of one person.
Yeah, exactly. It's all somebody's interpretation of the facts, and like when you get out and you kind of feel the heartbeat of the community and the culture, like you go out and you see Detroit and what is going on in Detroit, you can see the effects of what occurred during the issues that stem from labor strikes and damage to the car industry, and what was affected during after the Industrial Revolution, when a lot of textile mills in my neighborhood, like Lawrence, Massachusetts, or Lowell, like when those things were destroyed, and the effects that it had on the people who were working in these kind of communities. And like that goes across the globe for the conditions that are rampant wherever you go. Like if you go to the Congo, you're going to be able to see the response and the ramifications of what occurred during the period of Leopold.
Please say this once again, because I didn't understand.
Okay, so
when you go to Congo,
if you go to the Congo, then you can see that people are affected by what occurred.
What's the Kurdish?
Happened. What happened during the period of King Leopold of Belgium, when he was in control of the Congo, and he was taking out the ivory and the and the rubber, and enslaving individuals and murdering more people than Hitler did. So this individual here was way worse than Hitler was. You know what I'm saying? And this was one of the worst individuals in the history of our world, and people aren't aware of this. If you don't have a heartbeat and a contact to like the people, then you're not going to understand that. But this dialogue we're having right now, someone can watch this, and then from this they'll be like, oh wow, let me go look that up, and then they go look it up, and then once they look it up, they're like, damn, like yo, like I read King Leopold's Ghost, right? Leopold's Ghost. But from that, there's Heart of Darkness. Then there's Apocalypse Now, the film with Marlon Brando, is based like about that idea of that kind of destroyed atmosphere during a period that was so devastating on a whole people and a whole culture, and that's happening in our world. And a lot of people are completely devoid of understanding that, and don't even know it's a condition, But then you go into Cambodia, you can go into Brazil, you can go into Hawaii, and you can see everybody's different culture and how the heartbeat today is affected by the heartbeat of yesterday, right? And that's truly in you building and getting to understand and know the people.
Yeah, they call it also, but it's not exactly, but it's also a little bit some kind of like a butterfly effect.
Huh?
You know, that
Yeah,
even something fucking small at the end of the world can be affected with something big on the other part of the world. And what you're talking about the Congo, you know, I wouldn't even know what you're talking about if I wouldn't read one book about this, you know, when they told the story, and I was like, because, you know, what is funny, no, it's not funny, but kind of funny in the history, that there are some points which are so fucking famous from whole fucking world, and you know, the other points are it happened something much bigger, and you know, nobody talks about it. Like a second war, like a Hitler, his wars everybody know, but there is, for example, Alexander the Great, you know, and everybody talk about him like he was a great.
I mean, I would leave the great off. Alexander.
Yeah, but that's how it's called, Alexander the Great.
Right.
Do we call the Hitler the Great? Fucking no.
Right, and very similar.
And very fucking similar.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, you told me, look, you got like 40 minutes. I think we had a nice chat, and I
thought it was a great chat.
I could talk with you much more, you know.
Yeah.
But you gotta go, so you know, it was very nice to talk with you. I hope we meet next time, and we're gonna talk even outside the camera.
Yeah, absolutely. You know? It's always a good time, brother.
Okay.
I appreciate you. That was a
Thank
very
you
good
very
conversation.
Much.
Peace.
Essa.